secret is that?
Oh, no, I'm just gonna smoke it, right?
Oh.
What?
No, thanks.
I said, do you want a hit?
No!
Take it.
I don't want it.
No, you can take this.
I don't want it.
You are gonna take it.
Or
Smoke
what?
like a man. I'll punch you in the face.
Hey. Hi kids. Today we're going to be talking about peer pressure with drugs and alcohol at school. Today I have with me Dimitri and Majestica. Tell us about yourself, Dimitri.
I'm 24 years old. Grew up in Vito Heights.
And you, Majestica?
I'm 21. I grew up in Kingston, Jamaica.
Okay. How'd you get into drugs and alcohol, Dimitri? Also, what drug do you prefer? Are you hooked on right now?
Well, grade 8, I first tried marijuana. I didn't really like it. And I had it a couple more times. Instead of liking it, I've been hooked on it ever since.
How about you, Majestica?
I grew up with an alcoholic and drug family. Every night I would find my parents with coke and alcohol, as in cocaine. And eventually, at age 14, I was into it as well. At age 16, my parents were arrested and it all went downhill from there.
Interesting. Now, what we can do to help these people, or if you are like them, you can call your local health center. The one here would be KGH, and they have a rehab facility. And also, we have rehab facilities in Spokane, Washington, and all over the world, even in Kingston, Majestica. Hi. Dimitri and Majestica are both hooked on cigarettes, aka nicotine. So here is an example of subliminal messaging that makes people want to smoke and use their cigarettes. Oh hey, Ma.
Oh hey, Timmy, where's Lassie?
She's out in the field, Ma. Peaches are coming in mighty early this year.
Smoke.
You know what that means, Timmy? Early peaches, long summer.
Yeah, Ma.
Smoke.
Oh, there's Lassie.
What was that, Lassie?
Are you smoking yet?
Hi kids, right now we're going to be talking about how you can say no to drugs and what other things you can do to help you so you don't get sucked into drugs, even though peer pressure is a huge thing at school. Majestica, why don't you come on in? Dimitri, why don't you share your story first?
Well, one, just say no. You know what the bad things are that's going to happen to you. Just say no to whoever's trying to give it to you. And if like you can't say no, just take up like a sport, activity, a hobby, or anything just to get drugs off your mind.
I completely agree with that. That's a great thing to take up a new hobby such as sports, to let your anger out and let your feel great the natural way. And so, how about you, Jessica?
Yeah, I totally agree. You should just take up something to just take your mind off drugs, like sports, even camp sometime. But there's always somebody to talk to, like a counselor. And usually there's even talks at school about drugs. And you should always listen to those because they're all true.
And if your story's unlike Majestica's where your parents were hooked, that's unfortunate, but if you can always talk to your parents. You might get in some trouble, but that's a sacrifice you'll be glad to take, so you don't end up being drug addicted person like these guys. So how long have you been sober for, Jessica?
About a week and a half now.
Good job. Good job.
That's my longest in 2 years.
That's inspiring. How about you, and you promise you guys will stay sober for at least forever after the
Promise.
show.
I promise.
Shake on it. All right.
And also, one more thing to add: even if your parents were hooked or are hooked, like mine were, then you can still talk to a counselor about that too. It's a very important part.
It is, and there's many facilities that you can go to, such as ones here in Kingston, and also all around the world, rehab facilities and places you can go to talk to people about how to stop drugs if you are addicted and to not get into them if you aren't. So, yes. And I'd please like for Dimitri and Jessica to please leave the couch. So now we're going to be talking about how easy it is to get drugs, like kids, how easy it is for them to get drugs. So Dimitri and Jessica, come on. How did you get drugs, Dimitri, the first?
Well, the first time when I got addicted, and then I was smoking some with my friends, and I asked them how they got it, and they told me where to get it, and so it was just really easy to get it, like, anytime.
And so how much was it when you bought a little bit of marijuana?
Just like $15 for like a tiny bit.
So it was pretty easy for you to get it, right?
Yeah.
And how about you, Jessica?
Well, as you know, my parents were druggies and were addicted to alcohol. And so they were just keeping the coke down in their basement. They're also growing weed. They did that for about a week once. So I had some of that. But I just started one day and I was just hooked. I couldn't get off it.
So it's pretty easy for you to just go into the basement and walk around and find some cocaine for you to use?
Yeah, my parents were usually just out at bars and stuff, probably selling coke and stuff like that. So yeah, they were usually out and I was just home and I could just do drugs.
And so once you were out of your parents' house, because you are now, right?
Yeah.
How did you get them? How did you learn to get them?
Well, I had some suppliers in Colombia and they supplied me with a lot of coke.
How'd they get it to you?
I don't know, I think they had, I'm actually not sure, they don't tell us that stuff. But
It just shows up?
But I used to deal drugs here, and Majestica was my dealer name.
And now both you, you're
Time is up.
yeah.
Okay.
So
Thank you very much.
no problem. Thanks for coming on. I really hope that you guys continue to be sober. That's the show for today. Thank you, and please tune in next week for the Daquan Rod Chacon show.